The reason why we're here today is because on March 1st, 2025, I went through my ex-spouse's phone and found out that he was having sexual intercourse with his daughter. His daughter is 17 years of age. And I approached her first to see if she was being victimized, like had she been like molested or what was going on, how did this start? And she told me, I told her that I was gonna call the police. And I told her, I was like, whatever you wanna do, we can do. And she was like, no, I don't wanna do nothing. It's not like that. And she went on to explain to me that they built a relationship before she ran away from home and moved into my house. And they built a relationship with each other over the phone before she came and moved into my home. She moved into my house on the pretense that she was being abused where she was. You know, my emotional capacity and was like, she being abused, she's being hurt there. They pulled on my heartstrings and manipulated their way into my space. And I let my guard down and I loved this girl. And I mothered this child. And I felt like I was giving her something that she was missing by being a mother figure to her. And I had to find out months later of like loving this child like she's my own. That she was having sex with her father. Like, how does this kind of thing even start? So I went through the text messages and in the text messages, it was like at the time when he came back to my house, he told me that he needed just a few days to stay. And he was gonna be on the road. He said he had a truck company that he was gonna work for and they was gonna have him on the road less than a week. And then he said, just give me a week and I will be gone, talking about him and his kids, because me and him broke up in December. He took his kids with him. And so he had been gone from December, January, February, all the way to the February 28th. February 28th is when he came back around me. And then he told me give him a week. He had ran out of money. And then he gonna get some money. He gonna drive a little bit. And then him and his kids gonna leave again. So I was like, cool, that's fine. Like, whatever. So we was leaving, like we had the CPS visit because the reason why we broke up in December is because he was like treating me real bad, and I just did not understand why. And he was doing it on purpose. He was trying to provoke an argument with me so we could like fall out, so we could like get into it so he could leave. And I had no idea that all of this was planned by him and her. So what happened was that he succeeded. He got, and then somebody, while we was outside having a loud argument, somebody called the police. We didn't physically fight, but we were having a very loud argument, like really loud. And it was over him trying to take my 2 other kids with him. But in hindsight, I'm like, why would you be trying to take my babies? You know, after I know what I know, why would you be trying to take my little 2 kids somewhere where you literally having sex with their big sister? What? He tried to take my kids and with him because I wouldn't talk to him because I was leaving his house. The house that we was in at that time was his apartment. And I told him I was gonna leave his door unlocked, and if the Mexicans came in there and got his TVs and games and all this shit, it wasn't none of my business. I was gone. He came and tried to stop me from leaving. And we got in a real loud verbal altercation outside because he took my baby from my son and refused to give my baby back to me. And 2 men walked up to him while we was having our disagreement, and they was like, bro, what you want? Like, give her baby back. And he was like, stay out of my business, bro. And he's like, stay out of my business, bro. He gave my baby to my son and like teed up, like pulled his pants up, like, what y'all on? Like, y'all walking up like y'all want to do something. Once I had my baby back, I said, y'all good. I got my son back. Y'all, ain't no need for all of that. Joseph got in his car and he left. 4 months go by. I don't see them. I don't hear from them. And then I hit him up because I'm not really good at driving far distances. So I was like, I got the CPS meeting with this lady based on this domestic violence issue that we had. So you need to drive me there because it's far from my house. And the traffic, I already had anxiety. So he drove me. And then on the way back from the meeting at the Chick-fil-A, somebody called his phone and he didn't answer. This man always answers his phone. He don't give a damn what's going on. He answers his phone. So when he didn't answer the phone, I said, why you didn't answer? I said, we not together. He just around me. So he didn't answer his phone. I said, you could have answered your phone. And then the daughter teed up in the back seat. Like, yeah, she put her head between us. Yeah, why you didn't answer your phone? Bitch ass nigga, who calling your phone? And I'm like, why you letting her talk to you like that? Like, she started going the fuck off, and then she started telling me, oh, he been talking to this bitch, this bitch, this bitch, this bitch, this bitch. She snitching, like she going off. And he talked to da-da-da. Mentioned, she names two of my friends from high school that I'm close to. Well, one of them I'm close to, and the other one I'm cordial with, but she named two of my friends, two girls that I know that he met through me. So when we get back to the house, I asked him, can I go through his phone so I can see what he been talking to my friends about? Because the girl alleged that he been sending news back and forth to my friends, and he even had sex with one of them. So I wanted to see if that was the truth. So I asked him, can I go through his phone? He said he'd rather leave than let me go through his phone. So he left. So it was already an intense situation in the car. So to kind of make everybody calm down, to make everybody calm down, I took the kids to go to corral because he left his kids and mine. He left me with all the kids. So at this time, I had 9 kids with me. We all went to go to corral. So we go to corral, we go eat. And I text my friends. I'm like, so I heard about this. This is true. Send me some proof because you know how I get, right? Because at this point, I didn't know nothing about the daughter. So I'm like, me and him could literally be getting back together or anything. And this is what you did? Cool? You cool? Oh, like, is you cool? So I hit her up. Yeah, but he said y'all was getting a divorce and da-da-da. I'm like, but you knew this was my husband. Like, bro, like. I say, he won't let me see the nature of y'all conversation, so can you send me the screenshots so I know who I'm dealing with? You know what I'm saying? She valid, both of them. Send screenshots. So since the girl is the person who told me, the daughter, I showed her the messages that they came through. I'm like, yep, you right. They was on that. Thank you for telling me. Or whatever, like, so she gets up from the table and we go to corral. Mind you, this is a buffet. I paid for your seat here. She didn't want to eat nothing. She went outside and sat in the car. And I was like, she madder than me. Like, I've been dealing with this man for 5 years, so him cheating or doing shit with hoes is not for me, you know? That happened my first year of marriage. Like, all the shock and the tears, and that happened my first year. So I'm like, I'm past it. Now, like, I'm past being hurt every time you do something. Now I'm just like, nigga, you gonna do what the fuck you gonna do, right? But she distraught, and I'm like, what the fuck is she acting like this for? So everybody eat. She sat outside in the car the whole time. We get in the car, we come back home. I see his semi parked at the end of the street. I'm like, he here. She said, I don't even want to talk to this bitch ass nigga. I'm like, what did he do? Like, why are you so upset? Right? So I came in the house and he was in the house already. I didn't lock the door. I didn't lock the door. I rarely ever lock my door. He came in the house and he was in my room and he was like, I'm ready to show you my phone. I'm like, I already seen this. I already seen the screenshots. The girls already sent me I know what the fuck you been on. Like, ain't no need. You probably deleted whatever the fuck you didn't want me to see, but they already sent me the real deal, Holyfield, baby. You can keep whatever the fuck you just went and tried to, manipulate. I already got the truth. So, and I say, but one thing that's fucking with me, he say what? I say, she is in her feelings. What the fuck is going on with her? Like, she madder than me. And he was like, huh? I say, she's acting like you cheated on her. I don't like that. You need to put her in her place. I said, I don't like the way she was talking to you. I said, you ain't never let no child talk to you like that. I said, that's a child. You don't let no child call you all kind of bitch ass niggas, hoe ass niggas. Like, you don't set the tone that she can talk to you like that. Why the fuck would you let her talk to you like that? And then you let her talk to you like that in front of my kids. This is his child. This is his biological kid. She came from his sperm cells and to her mother, and she is a human being because her mother and him had sex. This is his biological daughter. This ain't no stepdaughter, no second cousin, first. This is his daughter. So I'm like, you don't let her talk to you like that, especially in front of my kids, because my kids don't conduct themselves like that. So they watching her cuss you the fuck out. What happens if one day you piss my son off and he feel like he can talk to you that way? You don't set no tone to let her talk to you like that, ever. I understand. Muru, he talked. Then I swear to God, I have this same wig on, right? At the time, this wig had shedded some since I first got it, and it was kind of fuller at the time. So I'm sitting there, I'm on my phone, I got my feet crossed in it's all on my phone. And I'm watching him through my hair. It was just like this in my face. I had a middle part in my wig. He's sitting right next to me. We sitting on my bed. And I see him text her and say, "You need to chill. She just said something to me." And she said, "What you want me to do?" And he said, "Nothing, go to sleep." And she said, "Okay." And then she just said something to me too. And then he told her to message him on Telegram. Like, so I'm watching, I'm sitting there, I got my head turned like this, but I'm watching his phone. So I'm like, when he go to sleep, I'm gonna go through that phone. I'm getting in that phone. Cause what the fuck is they on? So that night, he lays in the bed and he was trying to touch me, right? And I was like, please don't fucking touch me. Like, don't put your hands on me. Like, get the fuck off me. He came in this room, cause she was sleeping in this room and her brother was sleeping in this room. He came in this room in this bed. Now mind you, I can show you how big, I can barely sit in this bed by myself. This girl is 5'11", almost 200 pounds. This man is 300 pounds, 6 foot. Why would you bring your ass in this room, in this little bitty ass bed, and lay in the bed with her under the cover? So I come out the room looking for him, cause no, I went and got in the shower. I came out the shower, I'm looking for him. I come in here, he in the bed with her. And the son sitting in the bed watching TV on the other side. So they both sitting in the bed like this. She got her leg up, he got her leg up, but the cover covering they bottom halves or whatever. I say, bro, if you don't bring your ass about this room, I say, why the fuck, if I told you not to touch me in a king size bed, why would you come in here in a twin size bed and lay down? That don't make sense. You could have just not touched me. I say, you can't touch her, so what the fuck is the difference? Get your ass about this room and come in and lay down, right? So he came in the room, he went straight to sleep. Well, he acted like he was asleep. I think he knew I wanted to go through his phone. Cause he snores really loud and he was not snoring, so I knew he was faking. So when he finally did start snoring, he was sleeping with his phone in his hand, which was so crazy because I was like, you want me to put your phone on the charger? And he was like, nah. I said, okay. So he fell asleep with his phone in his hand like this. And while he was asleep, I just jimmied it out of his hand and went in my car and went through it. I watched him enter his code while he was on side of me, so I seen it. I went through the Telegram first. When I went through the Telegram, I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? Because they was texting and they said, do you think she knows? And he say, nah, I'm gonna tell you in person. Just chill. I'm gonna talk to you face to face. And my heart started beating fast. And I felt like it was a knot in my throat, and I was just like, hey, baby, what's going on? I'm safe. I promise. You can go sit down. What? I'm safe. Get your teddy bear. You can go. I'm safe. Get your teddy bear. Bye-bye. So I felt like this knot in my throat, and someone was just like, just go put the phone back. Don't look, because she gonna find something you don't want to know. Like, just go. I'm like, nah, I got to. So I went through her thread, and the first messages I see is her saying, I let you fuck me, and you been fucking these hoes. And I took a screenshot. And I emailed it to myself immediately. And then I was like, I need to get my son an iPad. So I ran back in here. I got my son an iPad. And while I had his phone unlocked, I changed the passcode to his phone. I signed into his iCloud on my son's iPad. Changed his passcode back to what he had it. And I was like, I'm gonna collect evidence on these motherfuckers from this point forward. But I kept reading, y'all. I kept reading, and I kept reading, and I kept reading, and I kept reading, and it just kept getting more disturbing. She was telling him she wanted to have a baby. She was telling him that she wanted to fuck me. She was telling him that they needed to come back here so they can see if they can get me to do a threesome with them. She was like, so the girl, and around this time, this was when the girl accidentally sent news to my phone while she was telling me her daddy won't let her post something on social media. And I was like, what? She was like, it's a video of me dancing. He won't let me post it. He's saying my shorts showing too much. And I was like, well, let me see the video. And she sends the video, but then she sends a picture of her vagina with the video. And then she's, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, okay. Nothing to be ashamed of. You 17, I'm pretty sure you got news in your phone. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. But you need to be mindful of who you send pictures like that to, because everybody can't have that in their phone. Just be more careful. You need to move them out of your regular folder and put them in the hidden or something so that can't happen again. Because what if it would have been your father? I understand. So I didn't give her the response she wanted. She texted him. I'm reading the text messages. She telling us she didn't go for it. He was like, okay, just leave her alone. So I'm like, all this was a plan? I'm reading, now I'm pissed, right? I keep going through the messages. She talking about she want to get pregnant. She talking about it's emotion. And I got out the car. I threw up in the grass. And I'm crying. And I'm trying to get my shit together. And I'm walking around outside. I'm like breathing. I'm like, I can't fucking breathe. I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna die. So I came back in the house and I wake up and I say, come here, baby, let me talk to you real quick. She get out the bed. We went in their washroom right there. I said, I need you to wake all the way up for me so I can ask you a question, because I want you to be, I need you to be awake when I ask you this. She was like, yes, ma'am. She was rubbing her eyes. And I said, how long you been having sex with your daddy? And I said, how long you been having sex with your daddy? And then she was like, and I showed her the phone. I'm like, it ain't no point in lying to me. You just tell me what's up. This been going on since we left your house or whatever. And I'm like, how did this start? Like, how did y'all go from reunited father and daughter to this? She told me not to call the police. It's her body. She can do what she want. I ain't got no right to judge her. And this was going on way before she even got here. But it just was virtual. She was like, they used to be having phone sex every night before she got here. And she decided to come because she was tired of having phone sex. And that's how she got here. She said she's sorry that she lied to me about what was going on at home. But she was just trying to get over here so they can, she said, for her understanding, he was supposed to break up with me before they even got there. Like, he was supposed to, but I swear to God, he was trying. He was picking fights every single day. But I just was like, so I wake him up next and I asked him how long it's been going on. He called, he said, bitch, what are you talking about? And then I showed him I was in his phone and I was like, I'm in your phone, I know. He jumped up and he immediately remorseful. He starts crying and he starts, I'm sick. Something wrong with me. Y'all gotta get some help. You gotta help me. I don't know. What's something fucked up? My mama fucked me up. My cousins fucked me. They fucked me up. I don't know how I got here. You need to help me. And I'm like, bro, stop this shit. Like, don't piss me off. This shit that I'm seeing in this phone, you ain't fucked up about nothing you doing, so you can stop that right now. Like, I need to check on my baby. What? I said, I already talked to her. I already know everything. I already talked to her. Let me just make sure she okay. I said, I'll be damned. I'm not even gonna lie. So I was like, y'all need to get the fuck up out of here. And I don't know what you got going on with your truck and shit, but I don't know. We just can't. I just can't. And me and her ended up getting into an altercation because I found out about her brother. I forgot I logged into the iPad. And her brother seen the messages on the iPad as they was texting about it after I found out. And he tried to fight her. And during that fight, I found out she was also sleeping with her biological brother since they was kids. And so when I confronted her about her brother, me and her had a physical altercation because she told me I couldn't judge her. She big-faced me. And then we got in a fight. So the next day, she called her adoptive parents to come get her, and they brought the police with them. I went to jail for a traffic ticket. He went to jail for harboring runaways. And now we here.